Alright, what's up? So this video is for the lesson that's due Friday, the 16th, next Friday. And we're talking about kinetic typography. What is kinetic typography? Guarantee you've seen it before. Music videos, commercials. Went to YouTube, type in kinetic typography music. Here's a video I found. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that was an example of kinetic typography. So you can see that this could take a really, really long time. So you only need to choose a song that's like between 5 and 10 seconds. Could you do the whole song? For sure. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But to get something that would look like that, I mean, you could spend weeks on it. So I am going to create an example here to give you just an outline of how to do some of the stuff that needs to be included in your lesson or in your assignment. But I'm going to do it really quickly, and it's going to be probably garbage. So you want to make sure you spend a little bit more time than I do in this example. All right, where do we start? Where do we start? We start in After Effects. Silly goose. Go to After Effects. Create a new composition. How long? I'm going to make it 10 seconds long. Doesn't matter what the background is, 1920 by 1080. Let's go. The next thing I want to do is make a background with a gradient in it. How can I do that? An easy way. Go up here, double click on the rectangle tool. Bam. I already have a gradient set up. If you don't have your color as a gradient and it's a solid color, go up to Fill and you can change it to Radial Gradient, or you can change it to Linear Gradient. I'm going to do Radial Gradient. Okay, and I'm going to move this circle over here, and then I'm going to do something like that, or you can leave it in the middle. You can leave it in the middle here. Yeah, we're going to leave it right there, like that. And I'm going to change the colors because I don't like that. Let's go here, and we'll make this like a sea foam color. What? Pretty dope. And then I want the dark color to be a darker version of that. So I'm just going to take this eyedropper, choose that color, and then move this circle down. Boom. Wow, what a sweet background. Okay, the next thing you want to do is bring in your music, and I will be bringing in the greatest rap lyrics ever uttered in the history of music by the one and only Biggie Smalls. I think I have that saved somewhere. Downloads. Yes, the notorious B.I.G. from the greatest song ever, Juicy. Boom, bringing that in, and I'm going to just drag and drop that into the old composition. So I found the spot where I want the song to begin, so I'm just going to take the time indicator or the playhead, and I'm going to hit Alt and the open bracket, and that's going to cut it off right there. The open bracket is the thing next to the P, right to the right of the P. Now I'm going to drag this back to the beginning, and I want to end it right there. By the way, greatest rap lyrics of all time right there. Now I'm going to close this up by hitting Alt and end bracket. There you go. So now, one more time. Perfect, perfect. So now what you need to do is make a text layer for each word in the part of the song that you've chosen. So let's go ahead and do that.
Text layer, we're going to say super. And now, why am I not seeing this? Because my text layer is underneath my shape layer, and that's dumb. So I'm going to take the text layer and drag it to the top. And if you ever get this thing, it's because you have caps lock on. So I'm just going to caps lock, and boom. There's the word super, super duper. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to make a new text layer that says Nintendo. And we'll move that out of the way for a minute. And then we're going to make another one that says Sega. But we're going to capitalize it. Sega. And then, you know what? Another text layer, obviously. Boom, boom, boom. Genesis. Okay, caps lock on Genesis.
And we're just going to start with those 4 words for now. So, and that happened again. All right, so what to do, what to do, what to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to move these out of the way for a minute and just arrange these words into something that looks cool. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. To mess with the text, you'll have to open up the character panel here, and you can make it bigger. I can spread it out. And I think I'm just going to make this bigger. I'm going to make it smaller. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it like that. And I'm going to want it to be right there. And then I'm going to make Nintendo super tall. Like that. Drag it on down. Now, if you want to move it, see how when I'm trying to move it just under super, but it's not letting me. You can use the arrow keys, so we can just arrow that thing up. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Super Nintendo. Yeah. And then, whoops. Now I'm going to grab this Sega layer and put it right Shaw, and then this Genesis layer, and I'm going to put that offset. No, you know what I'm going to do? You know it's going to be super sweet. So I'm going to take the Super Nintendo layers and move them up. Oops. I'm going to take Super and Nintendo and move them on up. Now I'm going to take the word Sega, center it up, make it wide, like stupidly wide. Kaboom. I'm going to make this a 3D layer. Kabam. And now I'm going to set it on its back by going into transform and figuring out, let's see, would that be the X? Yes. The X axis. Sweet. Now I'm going to move that up here. And now I'm going to make this Genesis bigger. Whoops. Bigger. And wider. Like right there, man. And if you ever want to get this perfectly in the center, if you go to the Align window. By the way, if you don't have any of these windows that you're seeing over here, go to Window, and then you can check them right here and put those wherever you want. Like if I wanted the brush window and it ended up over here, you can just drag it wherever you want. But I don't want the brush window, so goodbye. And let's click on Align and center it on up. Sweet. Now I'm going to make that a 3D layer, because why not? 3D layer and X rotation and move it up. Oh, we can make that bigger. We're going to make it bigger. I don't like, okay. If you want to change the anchor point, see how it's getting bigger from this left corner and going out this way. If you want to change that anchor point to the center, if you hit Control, Alt, Home, boom. Just moved it right to the center. Now let's make it bigger and see what happens. And, you know, that didn't work. Fine. How about Align, Center. Oh. Okay, here's what we're going to, now we're going to start animating this, just this part. So what will make this a little bit easier is to open up the song, go to Audio, Waveform, and now you can see the waves here, the waves. And if you zoom in, you can see I don't even need this part. So what I'm gonna do, go back here, and we're gonna delete. We're gonna do Alt open bracket, move this to the beginning. Now it should start with the word super. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. There's super right here. Where's Nintendo start? Here? Yeah. Alright, so I know that now. Okay, this is super right here. So I want the word super to animate in at this part. So where, how, why, what, who? How do I want this to animate in? I guess I will have it drop in out of nowhere. Let's do it, Bobby. So I'm going to click on super, and I want to keyframe the position. I want to keyframe the position. So at this point, I want super to be right there. Okay, so I'm going to keyframe the position. So I click on the layer super and hit P. That'll bring up position. Stopwatch to animate. Boom. That's where I want it to end up. Here's where, so now I'm going to drag this back to the beginning. Where do I want it to start? Let's bring it in from the top. And it automatically sets another keyframe. Okay, and that looks terrible because those are linear keyframes. So what I'm going to do, highlight those keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. That's going to be a little bit better. And yeah, super. I want it to kind of like fly in and then ease in even more. So how do I do that? I'm going to go to the graph editor, and let's look at the speed graph. Perfect. Thank you. And I'm going to grab this point, and let's zoom in here. I want it to ease in, and I want it to like come in really fast and then ease in. Let's see what that did. Better, warmer, closer. Nintendo, you know what I want this thing to do? I want it to like balloon up from the bottom. So let's do it. Can I see that waveform, please? There it is. So there's, right here in this little valley is where Nintendo ends. And so I'll put my, time indicator here, and let's go to the Nintendo layer and bring up the scale. We're going to scale this thing up. Boom, scale. But first, no, that's what I want. I want to move the anchor point from the bottom left-hand corner to this thing right here. But anyways, I'm going to set a keyframe for scale. Boom, that's where I want it to end up. And here's Nintendo. So I want it to start. Now I'm going to move the anchor points. So if I hit A, it'll bring up the anchor point, and I'm going to move that there. And then I'm going to set P for position, move it back here. Now, what was I doing? Scale, correct. So S for scale. And we're going to start this thing at 0. And let's see what we got. Okay, again, these are linear keyframes. Let's see what the whole thing looks like. Yeah, that's too slow. I need to see Nintendo quicker. We're going to slide it on over. Okay, and I hate that animation, so I'm going to hit go into the old graph editor. And this time I'm going to look at the value graph, and that's what that animation looks like. So what I want to do, this last keyframe here, which is this point, I'm going to grab that sucker. Oh, first I need to make these easy ease. Right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now let's look at the old graph-a-rooney. Grab this point, and what I want it to do is I I want it to get bigger than 100%. So it's going to start out, it's going to smooth in from 0, and it's going to go up, and it's going to go past 100% and then come back down to 100%. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bounce. It's got a little bounce to it. Bow. Yeah. Super Nintendo. Yeah. Super Nintendo. Yeah. What? All right. Sweet. Super cool. All right. Time to get on the old Genesis there. By the way, as I wanted a Sega Genesis one Christmas when I was little, and my mom got me a Sega Master System. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's something. It's definitely not a Genesis, but it is something. So let's see where Biggie Smalls starts saying Sega. Yeah, right there. This is Sega, huh? Yeah, it is. So Sega, right there is where Sega ends up. Watch this. You want to see something dope and lit, fam? Ali, I'm going to make a mask. You want to see that happen? By the way, this Genesis word needs to be, let's see, that needs to have a bigger angle there. Transform. How about that? And then move the position up. Alright, 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 alright. So with Sega highlighted, I'm going to take this box and I'm going to, Sega, I'm going to click on this box and make a mask. Ready? Let's do it. There we go. Now, in your effects and presets panel, which I was just messing around with, I edited that part out because I didn't know what I was doing. The magic of editing. I want this to fly in from bottom. No, I wish it was flying from top. A. Let's see if we can reverse it. No. We're going to drop in by character. Let's try fly in from bottom. Okay. Now it automatically sets keyframes there. Yeah, I don't like that. Hate it. Hate it. I'm going to Control Z that. If that's what we got to work with, we're just going to do the old drop in by character. Drop in by character. Throw it on Sega. Now you can see, you can't see the word Sega. It's hidden by this mask, but there it comes in. Now, it's way too slow, right? Yeah, we don't even see it yet. So what we need to do is find these keyframes. To do that, this probably won't work. If you click on a layer and hit U, there we go. It'll show the layer's keyframes. So there's the keyframes. Let's go, let's move this layer down for a minute so we can see. Okay, where was Sega again, by the way? It starts right there. So it's starting okay. Start right there. And we're going to bring this in, and we're going to bring this way in. Where's Sega ends there? Right here. Yeah, ends right here. So we're going to do that. We're going to put this thing in the middle. And now we're going to take all those keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And let's see what that looks like for a minute. We definitely want to smooth that out. Alright, let's go into the graph editor and wow, let's go back out for a minute. Just grab these two keyframes, graph editor, and let's zoom on in. and make sure we're looking at a speed graph. Speed graph, and let's do that again and that again, and let's see. It's cool. Yeah. It's alright. Okay, you know what I'm going to do with the word Genesis is I'm going to rotate it up into that position in 3D space. So let's change the anchor point on this sucker. A brings up anchor point, and it's going to be there, and move it over here, and then P for position, and we'll move it, oops, right there. Alright, and now this is where I want it, no, let's see where I want it to stop. Where's Genesis? Okay, start it, we're going to end it right here. So go to Genesis and set a keyframe for rotation of some sort. X, I believe, right? Yeah. So I want it to be right here at this point, and we're going to set a keyframe and then go back to here and move this on the x-axis to like there. And you see if I click off it, you can still see it a little bit, but here's what I'll do. Did I set a keyframe there? Shoot. Set the wrong keyframe. I want it for X rotation. X rotation, then if I go back to where it starts, yeah, right here, and I bring this down to there. You can still see that white line, and that's fine. We'll take care of that by keyframing the opacity. Started at 0, so you can't see it. And then I'm going to go ahead one frame by hitting page down, and we'll make it 100. And then I don't even want to look at this without easing these things, so I'll highlight those. Keyframe assistant, oops, don't know what I did there. Keyframe assistant, easy ease. Did I just take that off? Okay, good. Then we'll go into the graph editor, and let's do the speed graph. Good. Yeah, we need to definitely, we will slow that in and speed this up. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, I think I'm done with this thing. So let's see what it looks like. This is just the first half of it, but it's good. There you go. I like it. I like it. Now again, if I would spend way more time with this if I wanted it to look super dope, but to save you guys the time, that's all I'm going to do. Now if I wanted to like move these off the screen, let's say after it said Genesis, when the word when comes in, like when he says when I was dead broke. Now if I wanted to move those out of here, here's how I would do that. I would just highlight all of these, pre-compose them, right click, pre-compose, and we'll call this, I don't know, Super Nintendo Sega Genesis. So the old what just happened? Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, SNSG. I don't know what that means. Now it's its own composition, and I can move it as one thing. So if I wanted to keep in the position here, keyframe this, and then let's go, like, I don't know, let's go here, and we'll move it off the screen. And to move that off the screen, we'll do it with a word. So how about the word when? When. Okay. We're going to start this off the screen. And I'm going to start it coming in right on this keyframe. So if I hit the back arrow, it'll take me exactly to that keyframe, and I want to keyframe the position of when, boom, and then I want it to end at that keyframe. I want it to be right there, let's say. So ease these things. I won't get into the graph editor, but we'll ease them. Let's see what we got now. There you go, right? And then some words would pop up, and I'd finish that whole thing, and I'd do the whole song. Whatever. So there you go. I gave you a lot of different things that you could do with your layers. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Now go and make something super dupes cool. I like it. So there you go. Let me see what you can do. Peace.